Hi, this is Jo.
And this is Vicky, and we're the Two Natural Ladies.
Or the Two Hat Ladies.
Or the Two Hat Ladies.
Yes.
And we're also two managers in TriNature, which is why we are doing a training on getting a local customer base. So obviously when you start, the first thing we recommend is that you actually use all the products, because then you can share about them, and that's the way you will find that you will get people interested in buying them, is by sharing how you found they've worked.
And most people, there's a bit of excitement over at least one of the products.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably lots of them.
Yes.
So become a 100% user. Get rid of all the other things in your house and only use TriNature. Now, there may be a couple of things that you don't particularly like. That's fine. However, try them all, and that's the great thing about the joining packs that you get when you're first joined. You've got 6 months to use those, so please use them, because they're a great opportunity for you to try the products, and then you can use them as testers for people, or just use them yourself. So that's the first thing, become a 100% user. The next thing I recommend, and it's the way I started, is have a home presentation. Now, you don't have to call it a party, you can just call it an information night, which is what I think I did. And I had a very small house at the time. I had people on the floor. I made sure everyone I could think of was there. Obviously, a lot of people don't come, so that's one thing. If you want to have 10 people in the room, you need to invite at least 20 people.
And it's a bit really, like, it's when you first start something and you're excited, you really don't need to be polished. And I'm sure you've done it, and I've done it.
Yep.
You've just got to come and see this. Just
Absolutely.
be here.
Absolutely.
Pretty much all you need to say. You come from your own enthusiasm and say, I've just got to show you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really is an information session.
Yeah.
Now, if you're local to the person who sponsored you, they may be able to come and help you do it. But if you're not, either them or us, we can actually assist you and train you a bit. But really, it's not about being polished. It's just about showing them the information, and we can give you the information that you need. And any questions that they ask you don't know, write it down, ask us or your upline, and we will get back to you. So don't worry about knowing it all, because I jumped in knowing very little about it.
And speaking of contact, make sure that you're on the email list. So ask the person who joined you to make sure that we've got you on there, or they're forwarding our monthly team emails, and then you'll also have our contact emails and phone numbers.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you can't get onto your person, or if they're not doing it, to the same extent you want to do it, we're here as well. So with an information session, it basically gives you the opportunity to get a group of people together and in a small amount of time introduce the product range. And certainly for me, I found it a great way to launch my business. And it's a great reason to tell everybody. So to contact all your friends, text them, email them, and say, I've just started this great new business. I'm having a presentation at my place, or an information session at my place. Please come along to find out about these amazing products. So highly recommend that you do that. And when it comes to parties, we have a great system. Whether or not you want to use that is fine. You don't have to do parties. However, I have found at times when I've just needed a bit more money, doing a few parties increases my retail sales quite dramatically, really quickly.
Well,
so
back in the olden days when we joined, we didn't actually have a party plan system. I'd just offer 10% of sales as a so say it was $100 party, for instance. $10 would go towards a product for the person who hosted the party.
And what's great now is TriNature is offering those things. So we do have a great party system that you can use. We won't go into detail with that, and anybody that is interested, please get back in touch with us or the person who sponsored you, and we can go through all of that with you. And it is also on the website as well. So one of the next biggest ones that I find works really well and is very relaxed is the trial bags. Now, I forgot to bring my trial bag, but we could certainly, we'll post one and we can certainly show you a picture of it. Basically, we have these great green bags that you can buy from Try Nature, and we put a bucket of the laundry powder with just a small amount. We put some chamomile hand dishwashing liquid, some sphagnum moss, and some Supre. They're the basics. When we started, there were 11 products, and that was 4 of the basic products. So that's a good start. Now, you can add other things, a sachet of the dishwashing powder if you want to, but that's what we recommend. You hand over the trial bag for a week and get them to try it, and then you get the trial bag back with the bucket and the other, with the chamomile and the 2 spray bottles. So the idea is it's a trial.
Yep.
And people love that. They love getting the ability to try something for free. And we do really well with the trial bags. And I've sometimes had people that have tried it and they've said, oh, can I pass it to my mum? Don't leave it for more than a couple of weeks. I always give people a couple of weeks if they haven't tried it after a week.
Yeah.
And keep track, you know. Start with 1. You know, I find 3 is a good number for me. I can keep track of 3. Any more than 3, it gets a bit difficult. So,
Yeah.
But that's a really easy way. And if you've got kids at kinder and school, it's a great thing just to have with you. And when they you know, when you just take one with you and you just say, hey, would you like to try this? So it's
Start of a business, you know.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. So the trial bags are a great one. Another one is fundraising. So we have actually created a fundraising system we did it particularly for schools and kinders. However, we can change it to include any sporting club or any place that needs fundraising. And again, it's a very easy system. It makes it really easy because I find these days kinders and schools, they don't have the time to spend a lot on fundraising. So they want something quick and easy that they don't have to do a lot of work. And we have something where pretty much we look after it, and it's easy for us too. So highly recommend that. Did you want to talk about cafes? Because you have quite a bit to do with cafes. So how have you introduced to your local cafes the Try Nature products?
Okay, so this sort of falls to the area for me of having a pre-existing relationship with the cafe owner, and so I've got a family member with the cafe. I've also got I've been part of a traders association through my business. So if you do have a business, or even you know, if you work near a shopping centre, and you're going into the cafe quite often, you know, it's just a good opportunity to build relationship. And I've over time given trial bags or a sample and some information to the cafe owners, and a couple of them have taken on some of the products. So the family member that I who's running a cafe, he's got. Do you want to talk about products?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So they use the Sanazone, the odorless cleaner, around a lot of the bench areas. They do a big thorough clean at the end of the day, as well as their spot cleaning during the day. They've got all the toilet products, so the sphagnum moss and the Excel and the room spray are in the toilets for quick spruce up cleans. And you know, even if the customers want to you know, freshen the room up, they're there. And there's actually been a few inquiries at the cafe counter after people have been into the bathrooms.
The hand wash too.
The hand wash, yes, the hand wash is used by the staff. It's always at the sink and in the bathrooms. And now, what did the
chamomile, the hand dishwashing liquid?
The hand dishwashing liquid is in the kitchen.
Yep.
I'm just thinking, what did the chef? One of the chefs raved about something one day to me. I think it might have been it was the dishwashing powder. I think he was really impressed with. That's right. He showed me 2 plates. He's like, look at this, and I thought I was in trouble.
I should have taken a photo.
I know, but I was hardly seeing the difference. But for him, he said this has cleaned it much better than what I've had.
Oh, that's
been
great.
using. So, yes.
So, as you can see, they can use a lot of our products. So, and again, as Vicky said, this is a relationship kind of business. So, you talk with the people you have a relationship with. So, if you're a coffee drinker, then you've probably got a coffee place where you go to. That's where you'd start. And the same with, just introducing the products from word go. You want to stay local because that means you're not traveling all over the countryside, and there's plenty of people in your local area, whether you're in the country or in the city. And it gives you the opportunity to just talk to the people you already have a relationship with.
Do you know, and the express bottles, I mean, you don't want to give away your profits by any means, but if you feel that you can, spare an express, I would have, I've given a cafe person that I'm sort of building a relationship with, not this one, but the Sanazone, the odourless spray, and she talks that up all the time now with her clients that come in. And that's only, I always...
It's $6 something for us as consultants, so it's not a huge amount. One sale could have paid for that, and if you've got her talking it up, that's great.
Yeah.
For me, an area that I have quite a few clients is I've got quite a few kinders on board. So the ones that my kinders use, and I know this might change depending on the kinder, is the Supre, which is the multi-purpose cleaner. They love that for just cleaning all the desks and all the surfaces. The hand wash, they love the hand wash. The floor cleaner, the Optimate floor cleaner. The hand sanitizer, big one, because a lot of hand sanitizers have an ingredient called triclosan in them. Ours doesn't have triclosan in it. It's much gentler on your hands, but it's also much safer around kids. So, if they happen to eat it, it's not going to do them any damage at all. What else do they use? I think they're the main ones. Some people use the sphagnum moss, and then some people use the XL as well. So again, quite a range, and because depending on the kinder, they use it quite quickly. So you could be getting $300 orders every, say, 3 to 6 months. So they're really good orders to have. Again, start with your relationship. So if your kids are at a kinder, or if you know someone whose kids are at a kinder, that's the way to go about it. If you don't have anyone at a kinder, absolutely you can go and introduce yourself. It's just easier if you've got a relationship with them. And there's plenty of other things you can do to start with as well. Now the other area is markets and expos, and I actually met Vicky at an expo many years ago. So do you want to talk a little bit about what you've done, or what your experience
So when
is?
I first started with Tri-Nature, there wasn't, I think it was numbered. So I was like the ninth consultant in Victoria, 300009. So I was the 9th consultant to start in, and I really wish I was 007, but I missed that too.
Yeah, that would have been good.
And I was introduced to the expos that were at the old exhibition buildings in Melbourne, and so I did a couple of those. And they're called Healthier Living shows, and I think it was the second one I was doing there. That these two women pushing their prams walked by, and of course I was so excited I just jumped out and said, "You need this," or "You look like you need this," or something like that, and I introduced them to the pre-soak. This one was skeptical. It was her friend who actually bought it, and they split the bucket and shared it, and but look who's sitting here now.
I was just so impressed with it. I couldn't believe it, because I've been looking for eco products that were gentle for my family, etc. So so I have done a number of markets and expos over the years. Again, go local. So if you can find a local market, it can be really useful, because some people much prefer to buy from a stall, at least to start with. It's a great, and again, the express range is a great way to start. So these bottles, because they're not expensive for you, so you can have a few on your stand. You don't need to have everything. A lot of people say to us, do I have to have a whole range of products? You don't. I do recommend you have some, because people spot buy. They do, you know, they'll buy then, but if they may not buy later. However, you don't have to have everything. And if it's a local market and it's a monthly market or a fortnightly market, people will start to get to know you. So you might not sell a lot in the first few, but after a while you will. And the other thing is, it's, and this is something that I've learned by doing many markets. I watch the other stallholders who sit down and wait for somebody to say, please, can I buy something from you? It's not how it works. And particularly with our products, because they're not as well known, you need to get out there. I don't sit. If I do a 6-hour market, I don't sit. And I'm constantly, we've got a beautiful hand cream, so I'm constantly saying, would you like to try our hand cream? And get them in, start chatting to them, tell them about the products, get them to smell some of the products. Now, some people still say no, that's fine, but I actually do so much better than the stallholders around me, because I'm engaging with people the whole time. So that's my recommendation. That's what will make the difference between doing well at a market and not doing well. And again, if you're new, it'll be the products that you've used that you'll share and that you love, and people will buy. So I highly recommend. And markets generally, the local market, they're not very expensive. So yeah. Did you want to say anything more about that?
Well, I yeah, it comes down to just when you say engage, I mean, it's just grabbing someone's attention by smiling at them.
Yes.
And of course, if they keep walking past, you know, but usually a smile and a hello can be enough for them to come towards you, so that you can start to talk. Now, I used to, and I don't know, I still fall back into this position, and you know, technically it's not the right thing to say, apparently, but I just used to say, have you heard of Try Nature before? And people would usually say no, but in an open way where they're interested to hear more. So
I still use it too.
Yeah.
So no problem with you just saying, have you heard of Try Nature?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, when they start, they say, what about letterbox drops? And I'm somebody who never wants to say never to somebody. I think that everybody should have the opportunity to try everything and see what works for them. And I don't know anybody that's had really great success with a letterbox drop. I do know one lady that got a few clients with her first letterbox drop. If you are going to do it, you are much better off to do a small amount and do it multiple times.
Like a smaller area.
So say do 20 houses. And do those 20 houses, say your street, it depends how, or you know, do a block, and do that at least three times, because I think they actually say it can take up to 7 times giving somebody information before they actually register it or do something about it if they're interested.
They call it touch points.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a letterbox drop.
No.
It could, just a few exposures to
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're not doing markets or anything else, and you do want to try letterbox drops, it is a very inexpensive way of, you know, starting things out, because you can just print them off yourself, and we do have plenty of flyers that we can offer you.
It does have to be approved material.
Absolutely.
Either use what's pre-existing, or are they on the website? I don't know, but find out where you can get some pre-existing ones from, or
if you create one,
you have to have it approved via one of us.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Now, another one is advertising. So again, I have not found this very, it's too expensive for what you get back.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is the kind of advertising is much better if you go to a market than it is, and it can be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
If you're in a smaller area, you know, like a country area, there may be some benefit in that, or maybe even in a school newsletter or something like that. So again, never saying never. However, we're very aware that you're just starting out, you're not making a lot of money, so you want to be doing stuff that is very cost effective for yourself and is going to get you the best benefits. So not saying never, but definitely. Now, social media, obviously, yes. These days, you need to be on Facebook and you need to be on, well, you don't need to be, but a lot of people are on Instagram these days as well. We do have a social media policy, so please read that before you choose what your name is going to be. And certainly, again, the person who sponsored you or Vicky and I can assist you with the kind of posts to do, because there's rules about how many advertising posts you do compared with how many human interest posts, etc. So, and it's not a hard and fast rule, but we have found that Facebook is more likely to support you if you do more of the human interest stories, and it's not all about buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. So we have lots of information about social media. This is just letting you know, definitely get onto social media, but make sure before you choose your name that you speak with us and your the person who sponsored you to make sure you don't have a name very similar to someone else, because that could then affect in the future you being able to get a domain name, etc. If you ever wanted a website and all of that. Okay, so another one we say is an open house. So usually this is something you do after you may have had your product launch. However, some people may do an open house product launch rather than a party product launch. And again, just whatever products you've got, you have out, you say, I'm home between 2 and 4, or I actually used to do it on a Friday night and a Saturday, because I don't have little kids anymore, so I could have my products out on the table and they weren't going to get knocked around and everything. And it then gave people the opportunity to choose a time that worked for them. And then I would also put, if these times don't suit, please call for an appointment. So open houses can work really well or not so well. However, again, it's giving people the opportunity to come and see a bigger range of the products, smell them, touch them, feel them, which I find I always sell products that I haven't sold previously to the people who come.
Yep.
So I think, did you have any other things? Oh, of course you do. You have a big one that's involved in your networking.
Oh, business networking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thinking, what is she talking about? Yes. So I do find I actually really enjoy business networking. I think it's a place where you have permission to spruik about your business, as long as you're happy to hear about other people's business and support them. And I'm part of a couple of different groups. One is a very structured weekly meeting where you're a member, and there's lots of criteria involved, but there's also, so you put a lot in and you get a lot out. And there's another one so that's weekly, and then there's another group that I meet with monthly, and that's more relaxed, and it's more about supporting each other and brainstorming solutions and talking about problems and solutions and all that sort of thing. But both networks I find are very helpful in selling the product and getting it out into the world, whilst building relationships, because they're both about building relationships over time.
And I'm also in one networking group, and sometimes go to other networking groups, and I find at my age now that I don't have young kids, I don't have the ability to get to as many people as I was when I was at schools and kinders and all the rest of it. So, and because there's no local markets to me at the moment, this is the opportunity to stay local and meet new people. And I do find that with networking, it takes a bit longer because you're only meeting once a month, and so it takes a bit of time for people to feel relaxed and know who you are. However, most of the people in my groups are buying Tri-Nature, so that's great. It has taken a bit of time, and it can lead to so many other things, because also they offer services that you might be interested in. And I do find the kind of people, and they're generally women, but there can be men depending on the groups you're in. They're entrepreneurial, so they're the kind of people that you want to be around when you're doing this. So when somebody says to me, I don't have many friends, or I don't have a big network, then going to a networking group is a great way to get yourself started if you're not at a school or a kinder.
And it's a good way to grow and develop yourself,
Yes.
because initially, of course, if they're a new group, we're all nervous when we first start, but I've really built my confidence in public speaking just by being part of these networking groups and having my 1, 2, 5 minutes, whatever I have, to talk, and so it's really grown and developed me, and affected a lot of areas in my life, not just with Tri-Nature.
So that's a number of different things that you can try. It's by no means the only things that you can do. It's the ones that a lot of our team and ourselves have done and found benefits in. Obviously, we've just given you a basic rundown.
What about the one you did? That was a bit out of the box.
Well, okay, so so what I did was I just thought of anyone and everyone that may be interested in this. So I actually created a press release, because I used to listen to the radio a lot, and there was one gentleman who used to say, I love press releases. So I thought, I'll write a press release. Now, this was before email days, so I actually posted it to him with a brochure and a covering letter, and he happened to be just moving into Newcastle, where our products are made. His radio station was moving into Newcastle, and so he ended up doing an interview with our general manager of the time. They had like 700 calls. So the thing is, getting onto these kind of shows, and it was ABC, and ABC don't tend to advertise. Getting onto these things can be very difficult. I haven't had the same success ever again. Having said that, I've been in the local paper a number of times for Tri-Nature. So if you're doing a fundraiser, contact your local paper and say, hey, I'm doing a fundraiser for whatever it is, with these natural products. There's lots of outside the box thinking, which is basically what Vicky's saying, is we think outside the box. In the box, we've got lots of wonderful things that you can do, but if you think of anything,
and it is a who do you know?
Yes.
Who do you know who's either directly linked somewhere that could help you, or might know someone who knows someone who could help you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So just write everybody down that you can think of that you either want to share it with, or might be able to help you share it into some organisation or group. Or I've recently just been asked by one of my clients, could I come and do a demo at her work? So you just never know where things could go. So really, the world is your oyster, and there's really no limits. Apart from making sure the information you give is the correct information, which is why we're here to support you in that. We'll be doing product training on these videos so that you will get that. Before we finish, the other thing that I do want to mention, and I know Vicky will want to mention this too, is the sponsoring side of things. And I always talk about, and as does Vicky, we talk about getting your customer base up, and we talk about 350 being the level that you want to get to, because that gives you a good amount per month that you're getting, and it means that you're paying for your freight and getting some extras, probably close to, if not paying for your products at that level. Obviously, a lot of people go beyond that. So, but if you look at 350 per month ex GST as the amount to be ordering from Tri-Nature, but at the same time you want to be talking about the sponsoring, you want to be talking about other people doing what you're doing, or wholesale buying. And I let all my clients know, I say to all my clients, you can buy wholesale.
and then you can get your products for free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, most people say, no, happy to go with you. So don't worry about everybody deciding they want to become wholesale buyers or become consultants. However, there will be people, it may prick their interest. And these days particularly, we're finding more and more people, job security is not what it used to be. And people need more than what they're earning. And this is an opportunity for somebody to actually be having a plan B, having it there in case they lose their job, but also as that extra income. And it also means that for young mums, they can stay at home. I'll pass it on to Vicky because I know this is a passion for her too.
Well, actually, no, I've blanked out, Jo.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so we are going to be doing a video on sponsoring, but I think it's really important that we always mention to everybody that the benefit of sponsoring, because in the end, this business, a network marketing business, if you share with 2 people and they share with 2 people and they share with 2 people, and you and all they need to be doing is $350 per month, you can create an amazing business. So we're absolutely wanting to talk to you further about how we can do that.
And we have done a video previously, so that'll be floating around. And if you can't find it, ask us.
Yes, please. Yeah, and we'll do another one more about the step-by-step things that we say and do.
But it is, I think we've very easily fall into how to the complicated way.
Yes.
And it's not complicated. It is really simple, really easy. And I think because there's so much, certain way of thinking out in the world, and this takes just a shift in thinking and keeping ourselves reminded that this is simple and easy and fun.
Yeah, because I've got to say, when I started, I didn't even know what network marketing was. And I started because I wanted to use the products. I tried the products. I loved the products. And then I just said, you could do this too. You could just sell to your friends and family. And that's all I said. And people were like, oh yeah, and very quickly I had a team of people who were just doing a little bit. They weren't doing huge amounts, but you don't have to have all the ins and outs. It's just save some money, get your products for free.
Yeah.
It is really easy.
It's the raw enthusiasm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we will be discussing that further. So we look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.